G'day, movers and shakers. Welcome to the channel if you're new. If you aren't, either way, this is the hardest rubbish rig I'm building, which is a simulator made out of scrap, hard rubbish, parts, broken bits, fucking anything that doesn't cost money. I'm doing it my way. I'll show you what I'm up to somewhat. I'm trying to make it a long video, but you know, I babble. That's inside of a Logitech G920 whatever wheel that I can plug in with an extra long cable into the unit so that it knows it's functioning and it'll let it work. I won't ever have the flashing light syndrome because, as movers and shakers know from other videos, if you want to check it out, how I've fixed that issue. So now that I've taken that away from the system and I can plug that somewhere hidden, whatever I want to do, now I can actually wire or solder up other wires to these what were momentary or tactile switches and rewire them to other functions, like, you know, push to talk, or these nice little tactile switches or momentary switches, or whatever you want to do. That way it separates it from the wheel itself, and I can put whatever wheel I want with whatever boss hub I want, and it doesn't affect the unit. That was the plan there, hence why it's pretty ugly. It doesn't matter because it's just as long as it's robust and it's going into the unit itself, pretty much hidden as a hub. It says sewing kit here because I do silly things like sew Velcro in my shirt so that I can put microphones and things like that for armour and my war games. But the reason I made this is to show you what I was up to with, say, the pedals, for instance, which the last time I would have shown you, I was pretty close. Check this out, movers and shakers. Start doing civil construction just to keep my brain active and keep me distracted with, his name, my mental illness, which I'm sort of suffer from pretty fucking ordinary. I mean, badly. But I'll show you what I meant with how I've gone with the pedals. So really fucking happy. So I could do better obviously with functions. I could probably do a, what do you call it, I don't even know what you call it, one of those sensors that how much pressure you apply, it'll give you data, but this is based on obviously position, so it's not ideal. But for a G920 90 fucking Logispec thing, I've made it kick ass, you know, with the differences in the springs and the way I've fucked with it all. If you want to watch other videos, you can see how I've done it, but I'm really happy. I've obviously got to fix in the subwoofer box as far as making it look like a firewall and a real race car, not this type of shitty sound engineering fucking materials. But the point is I'll be able to cover that with the right materials, the rubbers and the fake, well, steel to make it look like a firewall and all that. But I'm so happy with just how it's turned out, as far as how much you can mod these things. Like, look at the return on that. Look at the beautiful, just beautiful. And obviously I've put my version of the rumble motors in the back with my specialised brackets, and yeah, just wrapped with absolutely no slop in that. That is just firm, and the way I've done it, it's just, you hear it creak because I haven't used it much, but with the different elastomers and things I've put in there, and different springs, just beauty. I've put heaps of pressure on that, gets about halfway, and then you've got that extra last little bit that's just beautiful. It feels like a real, I suppose you'd say, like cylinder, you know, or brake. No, see, I don't know. Look, I'm good with words, aren't I, movers and shakers? But it's like, you know, it just feels like a real brake cylinder, or, you know, real fluid. It just feels nice. The clutch beautiful, it's just solid as a rock. So that's going to rumble, and obviously it's sitting on a subwoofer. Again, this is the bare bones. but I'm really happy with that. I can sit in here and and the way I've drilled the holes further for each bracket for the pedals, I've widened it so it's sort of more realistic than this tucked in sort of thing. So even where I've put the brake pad or you know, good with words, the bit you put your foot on, I've moved the brake that way, the shaft or the center of it to the left, the clutch more to the left, the brake, sorry, the throttle or the accelerator more to the right, but then the plate itself more to the left, so you can get some nice heel toe sort of thing going beautifully. It just feels so good, and the trail brake just feels much better, and not like you're gonna hit your brake instead of your throttle, or like some people tend to do with arcade or these type of things. So it's just widened beautifully. It just feels right. Again, I could probably put not an actuator, but a sensor, like a pressure sensor, instead of where it's on position. That would be more accurate. So it's all to do with how much pressure I'm putting on rather than where the pedal is itself. That's something I can still do, and I've left room for that, as in how I've put it all together. Even though it looks locked in and it's all tight, I've done it so it's like there's like underneath I can get in, and then I can put one of those pressure sensor things on there, so I can change it. I'll just literally just cut the wire, snip, to the one that's reading, and rewire up the pressure one. So that's something better I can do, but again, for nothing, and for a Logi spec type deal, how much you can mod it. And with the rumble motors in the back that I'll put in with my specialised brackets, it's just rocking. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm pretty proud of that for what it is. It just feels really natural and good. So yeah, you can really give it some shit too. The way I've done everything is I've even Loctited everything, and filled everything with, like, that I'm not using with hot glue, things like that, just so that everything's just robust. So that's the point of this rig. So next I'll work on my shifter, and then I'll be wired up to that Xbox type guts that I showed you. Armors on with my character. That's so me, with the M110, with a massive suppressor on it. So that's what I want to show you. Also, I'm getting there with the bare bones, obviously. Time to start putting the final layer once I really glue this down nice and tight and firm. I'm up to sort of, probably shouldn't have sat on that, up to the final sort of dressing of upholstering, which will come up really nice. I've learnt the hardest way how to upholster over the years, doing all this sort of shit. Probably how not to do it, but I end up with a good result because I do it my way, and I've done it so many times. Hence, like, the double-sided tape. For the next fork suede, you can get real cheap from Spotlight. If you, like me, don't want to pay for anything, you can just find rough cuts. But that'll end up pulled really fucking tight onto, and sprayed with a really nice glue onto the seat. And I've learnt again the hard way how to make it pretty radical, so that now I use double-sided tape and stuff like that. That's really good, and that'll just give that something to cling on to as I put it all on. There'll be another material in here, probably something, well, not probably, it will be the type of rubber that you'd use say for like floor matting, or like that'll go in around near the firewall and the pedals and that. That's a sort of floor mat rubber, and even though that's sticky as fuck, I've still put double-sided tape under there because I want it, again, everything's going to be super robust. And that's the material that'll go in in there, but I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. And then I'll end up with a final spray coat on the back of like sealer rubber, which I've used here. That's a really bad finish, but tough as. That's the really nice sort of shit from you get from, like, you know, Rust-Oleum, who are their boss. I think it's a Yankee brand, but I know they've got a factory out in Hallam, Victoria. But I'll use like a leak seal rubber coating. This is just a little bit, because I've learned how to, now it'll be, the suede will meet beautifully with the last seal of rubber, and it will just be seamless. So that'll be really sort of pro. It'll really be just really nice finish, aesthetic finish. Even though it's hollow in the back for the other subwoofer, and all the energy and oscillations to go up into it. Once I spray that final coat of rubber, you remember what's under that? Moves and shakers. It's like just like tons of just like this shit. And like this was, you know, for those that, again, pretty new, this was a fucking office chair that I beefed up and padded up and put rubber in, and it's basically 2 or 3 seats all wedged together with a metal plate and all fucking sorts of shit through it, for the result that I wanted. But I'm pretty happy with how it's going now. Once I put that final rubber coat over the whole back, and it's got the beautiful, you know, fork suede really fucking tight on there. Once I glue this one down first, right, this is just because I wanted, it's got me to take me so many layers to get the right you know, feeling I wanted, because I don't want it hard. It's got to be, you've got to be sitting it forever, you know. But super comfy. That used to be square, this seat, but I'll sort of put all stuff in there. Anyway, look at the videos if you haven't. But I'm really happy with the aesthetics and just the form, the shape. It took me fucking ages to even seat the thing right, but everything's got to feel right, or I'm not happy. I'll just tear it apart again and start again. I'm not scared to do that. But it's at a point now where once I start gluing down stuff, she'll start really taking form. That'll all be glued down super tight, and then I'll put the final suede on with a really sick spray glue. Super tight. It'll cling to this double-sided tape that I've just put there. That's just for the new suede to cling to, because again, I've learned the hard way how to do things, and that just works. So it'll be pulled tight, clung on over the double-sided tape, and then as I trim it, I'll do an extra mil. See, I've done it so that even the fake rubber here sort of is the same height as the double-sided tape, and a little bit higher there, because the new suede will go over and then it will meet there, which it should just be an extra what, you know, I don't know, no, I won't say micron, however thick the material is. Movers and shakers, what would that be? Over, and then the final rubber coat will just be meeting that final bit of suede, fake suede, fuck suede, really nicely. So if that was cut there, it was pulled real tight on the double side tape, and it was stuck down, everything's, you know, how I want it. It'll end up just that tiny little bit higher, which is just enough for my last rubber coat to come and just hit it, and probably go over 0.5 mil, just so I get that beautiful seam in it. So that's one of my next steps. So the pedals are all wired up. Brake vibration, throttle, huge long cord, which you don't usually get because I've extended every fucking cord. That'll go into the unit itself, into the wheel. So I'm getting there. I've got some nice rare earth magnets ready to go. Found some nice. As this moves the show, I'm starting to spend a couple of dollars on the hardest rubbish rig, even though it's essentially a free rig. It's like throwing a couple of dollars here. Obviously, I always have on sticky tape because I love the shit, and everything to build out of fucking sticky tape and cardboard. But you know, it doesn't hurt to pay $2 or something for some nice rare earth magnets. These are square, so they'll go in there beautifully. You know, with some max strength, so they're medium strength. Then you've got max strength, nice big ones. Because as you remember, I found that my last magnets that I had just weren't deep enough, so it was too long a throw. So once you get way back up here, it's a huge throw, and I want it to be pretty little up here, so that means real tight in here. So next I'll throw some magnets in there. Have I even got my switches? That's a good question, isn't it? Let's see. Here they are. So then I'll put these in next, and these will be wired up to that hub that you saw. These will just add the nice final, well, obviously function to let it function, but also add that nice crispiness to the feel of the shifter. So once I put the motor hitting here, when I put a gear in here, all this will vibrate, so it'll have the definite, you know, feel of it, but that just adds that nice clickiness to it, as well as the function, because they're just beautiful momentary switches, or whatever you call them, gates or whatever they are. It'll just feel really nice. So the rare earth magnets will really whack, will really just feel nice. It'll be robust. This is all done for sound and stuff like that, but essentially it'll be covered with what will look like steel, like you'd have in your car, in your race car. It'll look like sort of, this will be tucked in a bit and cut back quite a fair bit, so that it's not bulging out here, but it will be made to look steel and welded with spot welds. It'll look like, I'll just use hot glue and paint over it. PVC, things like that, rubber, things like that, you can make it look like steel and feel like, well, yeah, without the hurtness of it, so it's nice to touch. But everything will be nice to feel, so that when I sit in it for hours, or you're racing or something, it'll feel like a real car, which is essential. It'll look like you're in a real vehicle, which is, you know, essential, but comfy as fuck. I want every surface you touch to just not be like this. See, this is just temporary shit, there's bones, but like that's just not on. So, you know, I'll rubberise edges, or I'll end up doing that one piece, so it'll be from the rubber from there, rubberised all the way over, but I don't want a hard edge on the fucking thing, you know. Yeah, it could be square, but if it's going to be square, it's going to be, again, temporary shit. But that's got rubber on it, for example. It's probably a good example, but you know, you don't want to go. Shouldn't hurt. You know what I mean? Shouldn't be hard edges on it. So everything will be dressed nicely, but it will look like a real vehicle. I'll have the right aesthetics, fire extinguisher, not checker plate, but another floor pan that I can easily Velcro off and put on the other side for a different country, or if left-hand drive, right-hand drive, whatever you want to do. So that'll be correct, so that you can move the roll cage, which will be PVC pipe, from one side to the other. You can shift shifter. I've decided I'm not doing that, so that I can change sides for different countries or different vehicles. I'm just going to like it and lump it. Essentially, I'd love to be able to have that system on either side, like the floor pan, like everything else, so that I can change it correctly. Because if you're in a V8 supercar, you know, you're sitting on the right hand side, looking out of the vehicle. Passenger seat would be left. You know, but if I'm in a Mazda Cup car, the shifter wouldn't be here. You know, it'd be here, because you know, it's a different country. So the floor, you know, the passenger floor pan will be there. So I'll do it so I can move that. But the shifter, I'd ideally love to be able to, like I sort of planned. But shit, I'm only me. And I'm, as you know, it takes me a fucking long time to do anything. So, you know, that'll be ideal. That's how I wanted it. It still could go that way. This system's only locked in because of the bullshit that I must admit that's in there, but I could take it out. That bar that I put in to make it so it can't go left and right, that it's only up and down. That can be moved to that side too, but look, I'm not going to go there. I think I'm just going to do it like that, you know. Tell me what you think. Do you think I'm selling out? Do you think I'm I should fucking rip that whole thing out and just go nah? Oh, well, yeah, but like make it so I can go both sides. Because you know what I'm like, I'll do it. I've made everything myself, so it's all just thousands of layers of shit, so I can just cut it, essentially, couldn't I? Really? It's fucking on there though. Maybe I should just rip that off. Right off, just fucking cut it. Actually, I could do, well, because I've made it, I don't know how I've made it, I could do it like surgery. I could just cut up here and rip it off. Maybe even, see, I don't want to ditch this system. This is going to be, well, no one's done it. No one's made it so that the vibration goes into your shifter like that way. Starting to second guess myself now, moves and shakers. When do I settle for, you know? Then I suppose the issue would always be whatever system I make for the shifter. I could keyway it, I could make it like a plug so that it's definitely in there, solid, and just, what do you think? Tell me what you think in the comments, moves and shakes, if you're still watching this bullshit. And thanks to the people that do, like Steve and Foot Down and I can't even pronounce your name, sorry brother, from, you know, Race Beyond Matter and all these people that I look up to. If you're still watching, tell me what you think. Do you reckon I should just cut that off and not settle for it? System, maybe, yeah, that's cool, it works, it's pretty rad, but maybe I can make it where I can swap its sides. Anyway, I'm it's a work in progress as usual, but I'm pretty happy with the pedals. You can see the spread on them, the difference of what they usually would be on a normal unit. Looks pretty cool, feels great. Seat's almost dressed, so I've got to do that. I'll start doing some lighting, put in 5-speed. See, the other thing, yeah. So I've still got to rip all this apart, because who wants all that shit? I just want the mechanisms for the 5-speed, which is what that used to be. That used to be a Logitech, one of these, and I've just put the bar in and stuff like that. But the 5-speed, I was going to sort of, yeah, get in there. You know, I was thinking, so maybe I will rip that out and make it like so that this bit here is this bit here. Right, so it's like that is one piece. Hey, that's not a bad idea, is it? So if that block there, so to speak, sat like there, maybe I'll make it just like a piece like this that I can, you know, yeah, so I could, alright, so maybe I'm thinking now, this is how I roll, just think I'm a fucking fly, I'm thinking I'll now just rip this off and get that whole piece that I've made there, including the crunchy bit, the bar, I can cut that down, and make that this bit, so that's all one piece. A 5-speed and the quick shift can be one sort of piece. That might be an idea, and that way I just, all that that whole board there, that's a whole other bunch of functions I can use as with other, you know, other switches so it doesn't look like that shit. But button covers, but then I could have all those rewired into a button box with that sort of thing. Look what I've done. I go one step forward, 10 steps back, and just make things 10 times harder for myself. It's how it rolls, it's how it goes. But it's like an animal, it just says what it wants and builds itself. Longer video than I intended as usual, but if you're still here, I want to say thanks for watching. Appreciate you know, if you haven't got a subscription, that's fine. If you do, really appreciate that too. And you know, some great ideas. I'd love to take this, you know, one step further and race beyond. No, it wasn't race beyond matter. It was say Foot Down Racing. I mentioned that wouldn't it be great if I got sponsors and people on board and did the real deal, as in the way I'd do a race car simulator the ultimate way and blow the world away. Fucking great ideas. I just don't know what the fuck how to do it. Hence these videos. I press start and I press stop. No editing. So if anyone, Steve, Will, Boosted Media, Foot Down Racing, not mention any names or or anything like that, race doesn't matter, can give me a hand. Hey, look, I'd love that, because I just wouldn't know where to start. But in saying that, if you're still watching, I did reserve the name or a YouTube channel that I've put no content on for years for this moment, if it happened. DuxgutZ Racing. So I've got DuxgutZ Racing. I've kept that quiet and haven't used it or told anyone or done anything with it, because I want it to be a tidy, nice brand product channel. Could be you know, building the ultimate simulator, no holds bar, you know, facility, building a rally team, things like that. Could be a kick-ass channel. So if you're still watching, you guys that you know, Paolo, Diana, people that you know, top rally drivers in the world, top people in the world, my idols who watch this channel and give me really nice feedback and pretty sweet messages. Tell me what you think about that. If I start DuxgutZ Racing Channel, kick it off, and yeah, it could be pretty radical, but yeah, look, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Imagine that. Thanks for watching.